Hi everyone, it's Sara, S.R. Marks. For those of you who are new and don't know me, I'm Sara and I write fantasy and horror books under the pen name S.R. Marks. It's been a while since I've done an update, but this is the writing update for November 2023. And there's a lot to talk about because this is National Novel Writing Month. And for the first time in forever, I'm writing fantasy. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. But if you've been here a while, you know that every year I do National Novel Writing Month. This is year 19. And every year I challenge myself with thousands of other people around the world to write a 50,000 word novel in the 30 days of November. Now, if you're international, that might be relatively easy. Maybe not a lot happens this month, but I'm in the US, and that means I have to deal with Thanksgiving. So it can be a problem. And the one year I didn't finish the challenge was a year I had to go to Miami for Thanksgiving. So I tend to not want to do anything on Thanksgiving in hopes that I will have time to do all the writing I want to do. Typically in November when I do this challenge, I focus on my romance books because I also write romance under my full name, Sara Marks. But this year, that series is exactly where it's supposed to be, doing its own thing, and I want to write my fantasy series. That means we got to talk about the Enduring series first in this update video. So what am I working on for National Novel Writing Month? It is book 2 in the Enduring series. Right now, the working title is In Search of Spellcaster. If you read Help Wanted New Devil, the first book in the series, you were introduced to death and the afterlife and what goes on there. And there were hints that there's something more. There's a curse. There's a family that's cursed. They're the ones in this pocket dimension. In this next book, In Search of Spellcaster, we're going to meet that family. We're going to start dealing with that curse and the multi-generation implications of it. So we follow Sabine and Carly. They are best friends. One is, they're both directly descended from this family because most of Europe is at this point in this alternative universe of mine. But Sabine is a very specific being. Carly is a very specific person. And I don't want to spoil it, but I'm already 26,000 words in, and we're only a third of the way through the story. And it's broken up into 3 parts. So I'm trying to finish the first part before I hit 30K. It is not likely. This is going to be a long one. Part 2 is going to take us a little later into time. And then part 3, so it's like part 1 is during spring break because they're college age kids. Part 2 is the beginning of summer. Part 3 is the end of summer and into the fall semester, so to speak. They're dealing with becoming adults, with knowing what you want, who you're supposed to be versus who you really are, what others want from you versus who you know yourself to be and want to be. So these are very surface level discussions at this point. We will get deeper into that sense of identity and the supposed to be throughout the series because it's a major theme. The dog literally galloped past the desk. He is anxious for me to attend to his needs. So I am a third of the way through. I am loving this. This book has been in my head for over 20 years, and it started as fan fiction of everything I didn't like that somebody else did, and I was sure I could do better. But I've stripped out the fan fiction, though there are still hints of it, and I'm curious to see where people can find the hints of it when they start reading it. We'll talk about that when we get closer to that, because that's a while away. But this is very near and dear to my heart. I was very anxious about writing this one. Turns out it's a breeze. It's been like every time I sit down, I can get a couple thousand words in without a problem. And I'm very, very, very happy with that. But the first book in the series, Help Wanted New Devil. Now, you might have found me because of that book. I did a giveaway in October, one of those Stuff Your E-Reader book blasts, and thousands of you downloaded Help Wanted New Devil. And I am so thrilled. I was struggling to get eyes on this book because there's so much out there, and it's so nebulous, but and it's in genres that are stuffed to the gills with other books that are much more popular and are from major publishers who have much more time and money to put towards marketing it. So I was getting really frustrated, and seeing so many of you pick up the book, knowing that the cover told you what I wanted it to tell you, the blurb explained what I wanted explained, and it's resonating with you, was such, it helped revive my energy, especially going into November and writing the second book. And I've already seen reviews starting to come in all across the board. For me, a review is a reader telling another reader what they want. I just want to know that the numbers are there. I want to know that I have so many reviews, because the more reviews there are, the clearer the picture will be on what you will like and what you won't like as a reader. So I'm not worried about the content of your review. I'm not worried about the number of stars. I would just love it so much if you read the book and you found me. If you can go into BookBub, Goodreads, Amazon, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, wherever you got it from, or wherever you like to discover new books, and leave a review or a rating of the book. If you're writing a review, tell people what you liked, tell people what you didn't like. That way they know what to expect. The one thing I learned from romance writing is that people really love to know the things that get other people's back hairs up. I am a big fan of profanity. Not everyone is. And those reviews where people said, she uses profanity, yes, it irritated me in the moment, but it helped other readers know, if you don't like profanity, don't read these books. That's what I would love for you to be able to do for Help Wanted New Devil. If you could leave a review, please do it. If you got the book for free during that book blast in October, thank you. I hope you get the other books that I've written under this pen name. If you want romance, it's not paranormal romance. It's just contemporary rom-coms. I don't really cross-pollinate the promotion, but it will be free again in January as part of another book blast event for fantasy books. So it will be one of hundreds of books, yes, but it will be there. And if you're looking to get a free copy so you can leave a review to help me out, this is going to be a perfect chance for you to do that. So watch. There's links below to join my newsletter, to follow me on social media, to find out when those opportunities will come up. Now, I also write horror books. I love horror. It is how I can write romance and fantasy, the lighter fantasy, because I have darker thoughts, and those darker thoughts need to come out. I have a series of horror books, the Frozen Wasteland books, and the third one's about to come out. But it's only going to be for the next year on the Ream platform, REAM. There will be links below in the descriptions for you to find it. This is Lovecraftian horror. Something terrible, something eldritch, something terrible, horrific, sacrifices, death. If it's dark, well, actually, it's not that dark. Everybody dies, but this is the goal. Everybody dies. So this will be exclusive on Ream. Depending on which tier you are on is when you will get and how much you will get from the subscription, but there's additional content. I was calling it the God of something, something, something. These are little flash fictions of me just being pissy and obnoxious. It's turned into the Muse of, which connects more to the Enduring series than anything else, but it is me being snarky and petty. It is really a petty series of flash fiction about... the first one is the Muse of... oh, now I can't even remember what it was. The Muse of Hobosexuals. And if you're on TikTok and feminist spaces, you know what a hobosexual is. And if you don't, you'll know if you get that tier, which is the $5 tier, I think, on the Ream, so you can read the chapters and this bonus content. There are also, because this is the third book in the series, brand new covers for it. I just got the third one today, which is for Harshug, the third book in the series. This is, and I have to warn you, some trigger announcements. This is anti-MLM. People are sacrificed. People die. Not all of those deaths are easy peasy. Not so bloody, but somewhat terrifying for people. So content warnings, but also if you are a big fan of multi-level marketing companies and coaches who help people make those businesses successful, I do not think they work. And I write that into this series. So be prepared. But the new covers will be debuted in the next few weeks on Ream, then on my webpage, then on social media, if I have the energy for social media. This is the extent of the social media I have energy for. So with that in mind, that's what's going on in my fantasy and horror books. And I'll see you in December's update. Bye.